No.
You need to leave now!
Please just listen to me.
To me!
2 months had passed since Daniel signed those papers, the ones that turned his 10-year marriage into nothing more than a memory. The sound of the pen scratching across that last page still echoed in his mind. His once busy home now stood painfully quiet except for the laughter of his 6-year-old daughter, Lily, who was the only reason he managed to keep going. Every morning, Daniel packed her lunch, braided her hair clumsily, and tried to smile when she said, "Daddy, you're doing great." He wasn't sure if she meant his braiding or his broken life. Life after the divorce was a blur of responsibilities: work, dishes, laundry, repeat. His ex-wife, Emily, had moved out of town, chasing her new dreams and leaving behind a family trying to pick up the pieces. Daniel didn't hate her, but he couldn't understand how she could walk away so easily. Then one evening, just as the sky was painted in soft pinks and oranges, there was a knock at the door. He wasn't expecting anyone. When he opened it, his heart froze. Standing there was Sarah, Emily's younger sister. She looked nervous, holding a small suitcase and a hesitant smile. Daniel hadn't seen her since the divorce. In fact, she hadn't said a word to him during the whole ordeal. "Hey," she said softly. I need a place to stay. Just for a few days." Daniel blinked, unsure what to say. The last thing he expected was his ex-wife's sister knocking on his door. But there was something about her eyes, tired, swollen, the same pain he saw in the mirror every morning. "Come in," he said finally. That evening was awkward. Lily ran into Sarah's arms, squealing, "Aunt Sarah." She loved her aunt dearly and hadn't seen her in months. Sarah hugged her tight, tears welling up as if she'd been holding them back for too long. As the night went on, Sarah helped Daniel make dinner, laughing when he burned the pasta. "You were always hopeless in the kitchen," she teased. He chuckled. "Still am." But beneath the light jokes, there was something deeper, a quiet understanding of shared hurt. Both of them had lost something when Emily left. Over the next few days, Daniel noticed how Sarah filled the silence of his home. She helped Lily with her homework, cleaned without being asked, and somehow brought laughter back into the walls that had long forgotten it. One evening, after Lily had gone to bed, Daniel found Sarah sitting on the porch, staring at the stars. He joined her, unsure what to say. "Emily called me last week," Sarah said quietly. "She's getting married again. I thought I was okay with it, but it just made me realize how much pain she left behind." Daniel sighed. "Yeah. I know the feeling." She turned to look at him, eyes glistening. "You didn't deserve that, Daniel. Neither did Lily." Her voice cracked, and for the first time, Daniel saw the full weight she carried, the guilt, the sadness, the love for her sister's family that she'd been forced to abandon. Without thinking, he reached out and held her hand. She didn't pull away. Days turned into weeks. Sarah's few days stretched longer, but neither of them minded. Slowly, life began to take color again. Daniel found himself looking forward to her laughter, her gentle teasing, and the way she seemed to understand every unspoken word. Lily adored having her aunt around. "Daddy, can Aunt Sarah stay forever?" she asked one morning. Daniel smiled, not knowing how to answer. But not everyone approved. When Emily found out her sister was living with her ex-husband, she called in fury. "How could you do this, Sarah?" Emily shouted over the phone. "You're betraying me." "I'm not betraying you," Sarah said calmly. "I'm helping the family you walked away from." The line went silent. Emily hung up. That call changed everything. Sarah felt torn between loyalty and love, between the past and what her heart was slowly realizing. Daniel tried to distance himself, not wanting to make her life harder, but the truth had already taken root. One night, after putting Lily to sleep, Sarah found Daniel sitting on the couch, lost in thought. "You're thinking of letting me go, aren't you?" she asked softly. He nodded. I don't want to ruin what's left between you and your sister. Tears welled up in her eyes. Daniel, that bond was already broken. But this, she pointed between them, this feels real. He didn't have words, but when she leaned in, resting her head on his shoulder, it said everything neither of them dared to confess aloud. Months passed. The world talked, judged, and whispered, but Daniel and Sarah ignored it. They focused on rebuilding, together. Lily smiled more than ever, calling Sarah her bonus mom. When Emily eventually returned to visit, she was stunned to find her daughter happier than she'd ever been. Seeing Sarah and Daniel standing side by side, taking care of Lily, broke something inside her, but it also opened her eyes. I see now, Emily said quietly one afternoon, that you two were meant to fix what I destroyed. It wasn't forgiveness, but it was a start. By the time a year had passed, Daniel's house no longer felt empty. The laughter had returned, stronger than before. What started with heartbreak had turned into healing. Sometimes life doesn't give us second chances in the ways we expect. Sometimes, it sends them through the very doors we never thought would knock again. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe for more stories that remind us, love doesn't always come where we expect it, but it always finds its way home. Red Heart.